Yo, this is Ace Banton in SAT building, baby. You're watching SAT Telecom, that's the #1 choice. Boom!
Whenever the iron play, I'll be there. Wherever the steel band play, I'll be there. Anytime it's carnival, yo, festival, bacchanal, behind the big truck, down the road, everybody, they know that I'll be there. Yo, this is Mr. Challenge, you're watching SAT TV, the people's choice.
Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Shanna Esprey, your presenter. In our top stories today, All Saints University's doctor urging Dominicans to take care of their health. Political agreement must support agriculture in negotiations on climate change. Knox Solicito acquittals overturned. And in sports, Windward Island defeat Barbados by 216 runs. Details of these and other stories after the break.
SAT Telecoms. And I'm my tutuni. Big up, one love.
It's only when we unite as one, then a lot more thing can be done. Stop this useless fight down, killing out your own brother man. Time we rise and all realize we have an enemy in disguise, standing right in the mix of you. Got to know who is who. This is Derek Peters and you're watching SAT TV. That's what I have, SAT TV. SAT TV, that's the way to go. Rah! To the world. Ooh did ooh did ooh did.
Thank you for staying with us. CIBC First Caribbean Bank made an invaluable contribution in presentation of uniforms to the athletes representing the Dominica at this year's Carifta Games, which is being held in the Bahamas.
CIBC First Caribbean International Bank is pleased to be able to assist the athletes representing Dominica at this year's Carifta Games. We encourage you to wear these uniforms with pride and to be good ambassadors for your country and CIBC First Caribbean International Bank. Make the most of this opportunity and go for the gold. CIBC First Caribbean is a regional sponsor of the Games, and therefore this is but a small part of a much larger sponsorship by the bank, all to show the interest of the bank in the promotion of the skills of young people. CIBC First Caribbean is proud to be able to promote the development of young people through sports and in other areas of development. Today, sports is another avenue where young people can aim high and become internationally renowned. So again, the bank says, go for it. The sky is the limit.
President of the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, Mr. Cedric Harris, in thanking the bank for the donation, added it came at a time when it was most needed, as they were facing many financial difficulties to attend the Games. He stated he is confident that the athletes will be proud ambassadors to their country, especially as they have trained diligently in preparing physically and mentally. Mr. Harris said although this donation helped them in a big way, additional funding is needed for accommodation, which may be taken care of by the government, as he had a meeting with them and was asked to submit an invoice for accommodation.
The Athletic Association, with the little resources that we have digged into it to kind of help us to basically have a start where we are now. So we are going, and I've already spoken to the National Federation of Bahamas and let them know the situation that we are in, and if need be, that they will absorb the course while we are there. And when our administrative grant comes in from the IAAF, we will pay that back. But I think now the bigger picture is getting a team over there. The kids need to be felt that the work that they have done is not going in vain. So our team is going to be there, and the rest we leave it to God, and I think God has been on our side thus far.
Mr. Harris said Luan Gabriel, who is no stranger to the field, will participate in the 100 and 200 meters in the under-20 girls category, who is expecting a remarkable performance from. Chelsea Linton, a former medalist at the Carifta Games, will participate in the pentathlon in the under-20 girls category.
We have a newcomer, Donnie Joseph, who will be doing the heptathlon. And just lately I've heard that he did us proud in Trinidad at the Falcon Games, coming third, which I think could be a psychological boost up for him going into Carifta Games. We also have Judah Corriott, under 17 boys. He runs the 800 and 1500 meters. That's why he has qualified, and the times that he is producing is as competitive as the other guys in the region. So we're expecting to see him hold his end over there. Kilandi Bully, young first timer on the scene, and she have proved that she has what it takes to do well. She's running 800 and 1500 meters under 17 girls. Just about 2 weeks ago, she set a new national record in the 1500 meters. Just shows you that she is physically ready for delivering. We have overseas-based athlete Thea Lafont. Thea has basically right now she's on top of her game. She'll be doing the high jump and the triple jump. She have already qualified for the Pan Am Junior Games, which will be held later down this year.
Mr. Harris says one of the main challenges that DAAA faces is sponsorship, and is urging the business community to continue lending their support to the association so the athletes can attend all games they qualify to participate in. In other stories, The Cup and Its Treasure, written by Pastor Peterson Benjamin, was launched on Monday, March 25, 2013 at Le Flamboyant Hotel. The aim of the launch was to offer the public a preview of what the cup and its treasure entails. In the book, it speaks of the challenges and realities of life. Pastor Benjamin said the cup signifies the realities of a mission. Without a cup, there will not be one. The treasure is associated to God's promise, and Pastor Benjamin's book also speaks of the roles of parenting, with great emphasis on the role of fatherhood. Pastor Benjamin tells us about one chapter that is of great significance to him.
Chapter 11 is written against the background of the deafening silence of the church. The church is just too quiet. The heightened immorality, the corruption, the violence, the negative declaration made over the land. And I'm yet to see, please don't misunderstand me, I am yet to see the church address these negative declarations that have been made over this land.
The book ends at chapter 15, while the title Declaration. The closing chapter speaks of the power of agreement for the release of treasure from your cup. Bishop Chad Prince encouraged persons to read the book to gain strength from its contents and implement the advice it offers in our daily lives.
I believe the various statements, and particularly just the preview on the book, has whetted your appetite. And so I, with much pleasure, take the opportunity to officially launch the book and ask you to fully participate in its contents, fully assimilate its contents, and not only that, but put some of the principles to practice so that the treasure doesn't remain only for you, but always, whatever we do it first to the glory of God, and we do it to the benefit of others.
The Cup and Its Treasure is presently on sale for $35. In more stories, Dominicans are being urged to ensure that they take all necessary measures to care for their health, as this is vital for living healthy lifestyles. This important advice came from Dean of Student Affairs at All Saints University, Dr. Ananda Kumar, as they hosted a health fair at the university on Saturday, March 23, 2013. Dr. Kumar says during previous health fairs, it has been noticed that Dominicans neglect their health, and in turn causes an increase in the number of cases of persons diagnosed with hypertension, diabetes, and kidney stones.
The kidney stone is a big problem because of dehydration on this island, and we advise them on nutritional habits and lifestyle changes. Yes.
You mentioned kidney stones as one of the problems you detect. What are some of the other issues that you all have detected throughout the years of posting the healthcare?
Yes. Despite all these health problems, what we notice among the Dominicans that we really want to appreciate is that the longevity that we have. And we can say that Dominicans live longer than Americans. And this is one fact that really makes us feel happy. And what are the factors that are involved in this, whether it is an ecological factor, or it's a nutritional factor, or a genetic factor, that we're going to work around that. And for that, we take the statistical data and analyze afterwards. And that's going to work out for us in the research area as well.
He cited obesity as another problem plaguing Dominicans, all because of unhealthy eating habits, and this needs to change. With proper eating habits, diet and exercise, Dr. Kuma is of the view that we can work towards a much healthier population.
Definitely, I say that the health awareness is very good on the island. When we meet the patients and we talk to them and we counsel them, the awareness is very much. By the same time, as human beings, we have the tendency to neglect because of the demands of employment and the stress we have in day-to-day life. When we come to the technical aspect, definitely we have got almost all the provisions that are available on the island for all the basic investigations. But for coming up to the higher investigations, we refer them to the health centers, like we have Princess Margaret Hospital and Lafayette Laboratory, and we do get investigation reports about that.
Dr. Kuma noted that the All Saints Health Fair is a very important event, as a number of tests such as blood glucose, body mass index, vision tests, and blood pressure, among others, are conducted all in the effort of screening patients before their health worsens. He said the main idea of the health fair, which is conducted 3 times annually, is to obtain critical information from the public, which proves to be vital for their studies and research, while giving back to the public, as the health fair is free of charge.
The All Saints University is providing a lot of healthcare, and every 4 months we have this health fair, and we cover a lot of population, and most of them, importantly, are female population who come for health checkups.
Health fair coordinator Ms. Donna Dodd says the public should always make a special effort to attend their health fairs, especially those who struggle to meet the cost of visiting private doctors. She also took the time to send a special thank you to all who made the fair possible.
The Central Medical Store of the Princess Margaret Hospital, I want to thank you as well as Q95 radio station. Thank you for supporting us in the ways that you have done. And SAT Telecommunications, thank you also for covering us and for sponsoring us in the way that you did. Thank you.
She says she's expecting a larger attendance at the next health fair, scheduled within the next 4 months. Dominica's Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Honorable Ambrose George, and Honorable Colin McIntyre, as well as Opposition Leader Mr. Hector John, all gathered in Antigua for the first sitting of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Assembly. At the Assembly, leaders debated the challenges to free movement of persons within the OECS Economic Union, and an amendment was also made to the Civil Aviation Regulations. Politicians from the OECS debated the encounters to free movement of their respective nationals in the sub-region. Prime Minister Skerrit stated his calls for the appropriate legislature for the free movement of people within the OECS. He said OECS citizens who arrive in Dominica have been enjoying comparable benefits as those who are citizens of the island. Mr. Skerrit said in terms of education, there are OECS children living in Dominica who have unrestricted admittance to our education systems, health benefits, and are allowed similar benefits as our Dominican citizens. He noted that the possibilities are endless for the students, while adding if they sit the grade 6 national assessment exams, they can earn themselves a scholarship to attend a secondary school. These improvements, he said, have been in place long before the OECS Economic Union. He spoke briefly on the issues of visa requirements to travel to OECS countries. Meanwhile, Opposition Leader Mr. Hector John urged for a reprieve for undocumented Dominicans residing in Antigua. He stated that the high figure of Dominicans living in Antigua is an example of the positive effect the free movement of people can have on an island and its economy. I think the amnesty will be timely and important because they're persons working under the radar, and some of them would like to make their full contribution to the development of Antigua and Barbuda, stated Mr. Hector John. In more news, Mr. Frederick Osborne Sims, fondly known as Ozzy, was laid to rest at the Roseau Catholic Cemetery on Monday, March 25, 2013. It is alleged that the 75-year-old died of heart failure at the Princess Margaret Hospital on Tuesday, March 12, after being ill for some time. Mr. Sims was born on August 31, 1957, to parents Carmen and Frederick Sims of Goodwill. He attended the Roseau Boys School and then the Dominica Grammar School. After completing his Cambridge examinations, he began his working career at the DGS as a teacher. His working experience took him to the audit department in the Ministry of Finance. He then migrated to the UK to further his education in the field of public administration. He excelled in his studies and returned to Dominica, where he was reassigned to the Treasury Department and eventually became Accountant General. Mr. Sims was one of the main contributors regarding changes in the Civil Service Association, the union that represented public officers. By 1966, the CSA had 166 members, with each member contributing $1 a month. The CSA rented premises on Bath Road at $120 per month. At the end of each working day, the executive members would leave government offices to conduct the affairs of the CSA at their office on Bath Road. Mr. Sims was also one of those put under house arrest when Patrick John was Premier of Dominica in the 1970s. He married Nurse Stella Green in 1970. The couple had 3 children. In more news, poetry teaches us to wrestle with and simplify complexity, and can also help users develop a more acute sense of compassion. The University of the West Indies Open Campus, Cave Hill Campus, and Ministry of Education certainly agreed with this saying as they hosted an evening of poetry on Monday, March 25th. Throughout the evening, presentations were made by visiting poets, local poets, a musical performance from Miss Nashelle Walsh, poetry students from the Convent High School choral speech group, as well as the poetry teachers. Mr. Felix Wilson, head of the UWI Open Campus in Dominica, says although he does not know much about poetry, and his interest is direct towards the field of science, whenever he thinks of poetry, a certain piece comes to mind.
The Poet's Way was one of those old books that we did at the Dominica Grammar School, and there were 1 or 2 poems that I really loved. One of them was The Day's Dawn. Remember that, Arundel? And the darkness falls from the wings of night, as a feather is wafted downwards, an eagle in its flight. I see the light up there. And you had to do that like recitation at the Dominica Grammar School. So that's why I drifted into science. I left that for those who more versed. Steve Harris attended the grammar school. Unfortunately, Dr. Francis Severin, the minister, went to the other school. But I don't know if they did poetry there.
Director of the UWI Open Campus, Dr. Francis Severin, is a strong supporter of Dominica's playwrights, calypsonians, storytellers, and the other artists that exist. Dr. Severin believes that it is through these artists we know and learn more about ourselves.
Words are the only tools you'll be given. Learn to use them with originality and skill. Value them for their strength and diversity. And also remember that somebody out there is listening. Very profound words, I dare say. And this, or the latter part of this quotation, remember that somebody out there is listening, carries with it a tremendous and a remarkable responsibility for us as artists.
He added, as public speakers, we are aware that individuals are listening to us. Therefore, we should be extra careful in what we see. The Convent High School recited and performed classics and local poems to encourage better speech and confidence in students. To date, the group has won 2 gold and 1 silver medal at the biannual National School Arts Festival.
Mr. Thompson, you can't teach maths, she angrily accused. I knew I was the one to blame, but not a word I said. Shh. He calmly sat and so declared, help her yourself instead. She grabbed numbers, raised her chest, and folded her big arms. In arithmetic, I was the best, and I got grasses on my farm. 1, 2, a million. I'll help her soon, she screamed out loud. OMG, I'm sure the world had heard. The voice I knew could wake the dead and scare away the birds. Later that night, she sat with me on her favorite rocking chair. After a dinner of fish, poisson, meal de dumplings, and avocado peel.
Miss Mornell Alexis, director of the DGS Choral Speech Group, recited an original poem.
So I could constantly explore all the features that you possess. Play on your ringtones, increase and decrease your volumes, punch all the keys on your pad so I can see the different colors that pop up on your screen, those that excite me and make me want to Or could you be my bubblegum? One bite and I taste your flavor, to get me going for a few more hours. Long-lasting, thought-provoking, the satisfier of all my cravings, that sweet and sour sensation that just drives my imagination wild. Or could you be my lip gloss? Once applied, you never leave, that shine that makes my lips look like they're succulent and tasty, that flavor that drives you crazy to say, baby, oh, baby. Or could it be my bed? I'll lie on you every day, after work and in the day, time and time, keep me warm and cozy, stretch my body when I'm feeling lazy, that soft and bumpy spring that makes me sing, ooh la la.
It is said that poetry can teach us to infuse life with beauty and meaning. A challenge in modern management can be to keep ourselves and our colleagues invested with wonder and purpose. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.